Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to another video of Salesforce Makes Sense. This is Himanshu and we are continuing our journey of understanding and learning Apex through our Salesforce Developer Masterclass. This is use case number 23. For those of you who are confident enough to do this on your own, please pause the video here, take a look at the use case and try attempting writing this code yourself because that would build confidence. And for those of you who want to carry along and follow along with what I write and write that code alongside me, let's get started. Assign a case to the SLA queue if criteria is met. And what is that criteria? The criteria is that the case origin should be web and the priority should be high. So for any case that is passed to the method, if these two criteria are met, we want to assign this case to the SLA queue. Alright, so first of all, as a prerequisite, or rather as setting things up, we need to create this queue in our system. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and say queue. And we are going to create a new queue provided it does not exist. So no queues exist. I'll just go ahead and create a queue and I'll call it SLA queue. All right. Now, when you create a queue, it asks you for which object are you creating this queue, right? So we can choose one or multiple objects, but I'll choose the case object here. Okay. And as part of the queue members, basically the people who will be part of this particular queue, I can add people here and I'll just add myself for time being. Okay. Who else can you add? You can actually add people from specific roles. You can actually add public groups and you can also add roles and internal subordinates. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and say save here and my queue is created. Let's go back to VS Code and let's create our method. I'll create a new Apex class and I'll call it Apex use case 23, I believe. So our queue is created and we want to get started by writing a new method for it, right? So I'll just create a new method here and I'll just call it public static void reassign case based on criteria, right? And what is the method going to accept here? It's going to accept a case record, right? So I'll just say case record. Cool. Now, what is the thing that we need to check here? We basically need to check whether the case origin is web and the priority is high. If that's the case, I reassign the case. As simple as that, right? So first of all, I check if case rec is not equal to null, the basic check of null pointer exception to avoid the null pointer exception. And then I say if case rec dot priority is equal to high and this another condition, right? The case rec dot source or rather the origin is equal to web. If these two criteria are matching or satisfying my scenario, I have to assign this case to SLA queue. Correct? So how do I assign it? By changing the owner ID, right? I'll change the ownership. But now how do I reassign it? I need to first figure out what is the record ID of my queue and then I can assign it. Correct? So in order to be able to do that, I have to query my queue. And how do you normally query your queue? So you normally query your queue by querying the group object. If you take a look at the group object, you have an object that's called group and this object group has a type field, right? So I'll show you something: ID, name, type, developer name, right? And I'll just go ahead and say query. And when I query this out, you will notice that there are so many public groups and queues created in the system, correct? However, there's one type which is of type queue and that's our queue. That's our SLA queue. So what can we write here? We can write where type is equal to queue and developer name. This is more like the API name of the queue, but it is called developer name. Why am I choosing the developer name? Because developer name will always be unique per record, similar to the API name. Okay. If I write this query, when I query the group objects, be careful and be aware that I'm querying the group object and the group object is sufficient enough to give you results about a public group and as well as a queue. There's no separate object for a queue. Okay. So if I query this now, you see that one record is only showing up and that is basically our record, right? So I'll use this query and I'll simply say group my SLA queue is equal to, and I'll just go ahead and query this out, right? And if my SLAQ, should I go ahead and say not equal to null? No, rather I should simply convert this to a list variable to avoid null pointer exception on the first line. So I'll say dot size is greater than 0. That means I found a record, and basically my QID is equal to my SLAQ of 0 dot ID. Did this make sense? Now what is QID? QID is a new variable I created, so I'll just go ahead and declare or define it on the top. See? All right. And what can I do? I can simply use this QID and assign it to my owner record. And I don't have to even reassign this thing. I can simply go in here and copy this code, and I can move it inside the if block. And I only assign the owner ID if I find a queue with the name SLAQ in my system, and it only happens when this if condition is evaluated to true. Okay, and when this happens, what do I need to do? I basically need to use my database command, which is my update command, and I need to update the case record because I'm changing the ownership, right? So I have to use the update command. What else can I use? I can use the database methods, the database.update command, right? If I want to track the errors or success like we learned. Cool. So that's all. Now we don't need the QID, and that is pretty much our method. And I'll just go ahead and say deploy. Let's see first of all it deploys fine or not. It does not, because QID does not exist, right? So instead of this, I have to say my SLAQ of 0 dot ID. What is a better check here? I can even check equal to 1, meaning I only found one record with this particular developer name. Ideally you will always find just one record because you have put the developer name check, but again, safe side. All right, now let's try to deploy. Deployed fine. Let's go ahead and try to execute it. So this time I need to query a case. So before going there, let's query it out here. So let's select ID, origin, priority from case. Let's see all the records. Okay. So if I see all the records, you see some are web, some are phone, some have high, low, medium priority. Let's also take a look at what is the owner ID, or rather what is the owner name for each record. Right? So all owners are my name because they have been created under my user. Correct? Now what we want to do is we want to pick one of these records. So I'll just go ahead and say Apex use case 23 dot reassign case based on criteria, and I need to pass a case record. Now I'll just quickly query one for our use case. So I'll say case rec is equal to select ID, origin, priority from case where ID is equal to, I'll just pick one of these. Now which one do I pick? The one which has for the web and high priority. Let's see, do we have any such record? Yes, we have this one, right? Web and high. Is that our use case? Web and high, yes. So let's pick up this record. All right, so I'll just go ahead and say where ID equal to this record, and that's my case rec, and I'm passing that to my method. Let's go ahead and say execute. Okay, you'll not see anything on the debug log. Why? Because we are updating a record. There's no debug log that we have printed. However, you should be able to see that one database update has happened, and that you can check by looking at the number of DML statements. You see, one DML statement has been consumed. All right, so this tells you that how many DML statements did your code execute. And now if I go back to my case record and I refresh my grid and take a look at this particular record, yeah, I'll just copy this for purpose, refresh. And now if you notice, all of the records are owned by Himanshu except for one which has web and high as the conditions, and that is now assigned to the SLAQ. All right, so this is how you can transfer ownership based on criteria. All right, so that was pretty much our use case. Another good thing we can do is, if we know that these are static strings, we can define them on the top as constants. So I can simply say public static final string priority type high, priority type equals high, right? And I can use this priority type field here. I don't have to put a static string. The code will look a bit more neat and it will look a bit more manageable. Okay, I can do the same by copying this entire line, and I can just say case origin web, and then I can say deploy. Right now, anytime you have to make a change, you don't have to go inside every code, every line and modify. You can just modify it on the top level, as simple as that. All right, awesome. That was our use case 23. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.